solutions, page 4.
Page
Okay.
4.
So,
4.
some of us have already done some solving. Some of us have already done some solving equations. Okay. When it asks us to solve an equation, it means to figure out what the variable means, right? What the variable is equal to. So our goal is to always isolate the variable.
Well, you're basically doing the opposite.
So it's basically doing the opposite, exactly.
So let's say it's minus,
Okay.
you do plus,
All right.
and you do minus.
Listen to Miss
Guys, okay.
Oh, great.
Jordan, if you can't
I'm gonna toss her.
sit next to Jonah nicely, then we can come over here.
If A equals B, then this B equals
Okay, so our properties of equality, we'll start with addition property of equality. So if it says A equals B, so if we know two things are equal to each other, this just says I can add the same thing to both sides, and the equation, we call that, it's balanced out, right?
Yeah.
So what Aaron had said,
Don't you do plus 3 on both?
yeah, if it's in,
No.
And then x equals 2.
No, you do 5. You
Yes.
do 5, and then look at the minus sign. It would be plus.
okay, so I'm going to put a plus 3.
How did you know that?
What am I doing?
Because I know.
Oh,
You just made it so much more complicated.
No, under 6, you have to get the
I actually
variable
did it.
by itself.
Literally, all you do is change the sign.
Yeah,
Aaron,
you're
I'm
not
so
so
sorry,
sorry,
you actually are
No.
Okay.
Okay, guys, can we
Can
stop all talking over each other and let's volunteer? So especially if you're at home and you're trying to watch the video and everybody's just shouting and talking over each other, it's not easy to follow. Okay, Kobe, you have a question?
No, can I talk? So
Yeah,
can
why
I
me
explain it? So you have to get the variable by itself and you have to put like lines together. So because it's a -3, you have to add.
In this case,
Jordan, come over here.
Wait, let me talk. Though.
In this case, it's this YouTube.
No, she called. Bro, Aaron. So you have to get the number, whatever it is, to 0. Whether you have to add or subtract it, or you have to get the variable by itself. In this case, you have to add 3 together to the 0. So you do what? You do the thing on both sides of the equal sign. So then you're just left with the variable, which is x, and 3 plus 5 is 8, so x equals 8.
Okay.
You can do that, but there's an easier way.
Great. Now, listen. We can also check our solution. When we want to go and check it,
You can do 8 minus 3.
we just plug it back into the original equation. So if we replace, right? If I plug in 8 and do 8 minus 3, do we get 5? Yeah. So
whatever the first sign is, you just reverse that sign, and it will be, and you'll just add or subtract those numbers.
Does not make any sense to me.
Guys, it's fine. Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Just play simple.
Cancel it out.
Come on, this is 7th grade.
okay, subtraction property of equality. So this says if I subtract the same thing from both sides. Oops.
How do you know what A is?
Okay, hold on, guys.
X equals to.
How do we know what A is? So we don't know what A, B, or C is equal to. This is just how we write out the rule. Okay? We're just saying, let's say we know two things are equal, so we can subtract the same thing from both sides, and it remains equal. So here's an example. I see 11 is equal to x plus 5. So I want to isolate the x. So I want to get rid of the plus 5. Well, the only way
And
I
that
can
would be
get rid of,
subtraction.
okay, guys, stop. Oh my gosh. I need to figure out the opposite of adding 5 is to subtract 5. Okay? So I'm going to put a minus 5 here. I'm going to put a minus 5 here. So I'm going to have 11 minus 5, which is 6.
X equals X.
And the 5s are going to cancel. And I bring down the x. I bring down the equals. Okay?
Oh, it's not easy.
Switch it
You
around.
You can also subtract 11 minus 5 and get 6.
Wait,
That's
wait.
another thing.
So then it would just
Right.
be like for A, it would just
Okay.
be plus 8, and then you do
Plus 8.
32 plus 8 would be 40.
40.
And then R's equals
40
40.
equals R.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah.
Wait,
Quite
Miss
simple.
Casey?
Good.
Miss Casey?
Thank you
Okay.
for explaining that, Charlie. Also, you could just think
Can I ask
1 minus 8 equals
Yeah. Now, but I want to be really careful because I'm giving you somewhat easy numbers to work with. You'll notice eventually we're going to have some fractions. Now, I want you to have your calculators ready to go because we can use our calculators for these types of problems. But what I want to make sure, because some people, when they learn to solve, okay, hold on, don't write an equals here, okay? When you need to go straight down. So don't do like R equals 40, right? Like, don't do this. So always work your way down like that.
We're just canceling it out, right?
Right, because the only way to cancel out a minus 8 is to do plus 8. They're going to be the opposite, okay? Yeah.
Put us add 32
Okay.
and 8.
Evan.
Remember B? Or Milo?
Yeah.
Would you like? I don't know if you would do minus 4.2. Oh,
We-
you would.
We would do minus 4.2. So even
Oh,
in front of the 4.2, there's no sign in front of it. So we assume, is that a positive or a negative?
Yeah.
It's positive. Because if there's nothing in front of it, we assume that's positive. So
3.6.
if there was a negative in front, we would do addition. Okay?
It's 3.6. It's T equals 3.6.
No, negative.
no, negative 3.6.
No,
It's not the
that's
same
so
thing.
different.
Okay, again,
It's negative 2.
do you have your calculators?
I did it in my head and it's negative 2.4.
I had just mentioned you should have.
Miss Casey, my
Mine,
thing is
like,
having problems
Charging
with
cord like broke and I have to, I don't know, it's weird.
My thing is really having problems.
Okay, so you need to be using your calculator. 1.8 minus 4.2, is it negative 3.6 though?
Yes. No, it isn't.
No.
No, it's negative 2.6.
Yes.
That's not what my
2.8.
that's not what my
What does your
calculator
calculator
says.
say?
7.6.
How
Are
is
we
it
using our
7?
calculator?
If it's negative, mine is
Oh, I did
medium
11.
Take your
Mine-
calculator out.
Mine isn't charged.
Okay.
Alright,
I want to see
Miss Casey?
1
It's
point.
negative 2.4.
Ah, negative 2.4.
Miss Casey,
Mine
mine
don't
isn't
turn
charged.
on.
I don't
Miss Casey,
know.
my thing
Maybe
was
it's
like-
charged for
Toby, I don't need my calculator.
What do we have to do first?
Alright, because you have to do 4 over 1 and cancel it out. which
No, no.
Can I do it?
What do we have to do?
is-
What does this have?
minus
Can I
4.
do it?
It's a minus 1/4.
But
Minus 1/4.
That won't
So-
cancel it out.
yes, it does.
Okay, how do you cancel out
it's the
and
same
adding
thing, you
1/4?
cancel out.
You have to. Would you agree if I took 1/4 minus
Zero.
1/4? Doesn't that cancel to give us a 0?
Can I do it?
Listen, in this first part, we're just doing adding and subtracting. There's no multiplying or
give you
dividing
0.
it. We're not doing any reciprocals. Right, that would just be 0.
But can you make the fraction to a decimal? Because I did with the decimal.
Okay, what I want you to do on your calculator, you need to be able to do fractions on our calculator. I need you to put, it's negative
That's what I
6.
did.
You're going to do control and then the divide button. All right, so it's going to be negative 6 minus, and then you use the arrow.
It's like
Negative
1.6
6
and
and
1/4. 1.5. 1.5.
No, I don't want a decimal. If it's in fraction, I want you to have it in a fraction form.
Is it negative?
So what's negative 6 minus 1/4?
It says negative 25 over 4.
That is correct. Negative 25
That's it. The answer.
over 4. Now this is an
It's
improper
negative
fraction.
25 over 4.
Holy,
That would
oh my
be-
god.
But listen, everyone,
Yeah, it
this is fine.
It's
This
fine.
is actually how I prefer you to write the answer.
What?
So we're going to leave. That's what's nice about our calculators. Our calculators will work with fractions. It is simplified. There's nothing to reduce, and you don't have to change it to a mixed number. You leave it like that. Yeah, Jordan.
Yeah.
Wait, is this right?
-1. Well, this is a negative.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. Okay. All right, Evan, I think you had asked about.
I just don't know how to make the.
Okay, how do we get rid of a negative 3/4?
You no,
Add
you add.
3/4.
But I didn't know if
Okay, on your calculator, I want you to do negative 1/8. Where is the negative sign on the calculator?
it's after the dollar.
Or you can just do negative
Do you
twice.
see where it's underneath the 3? So I have a negative 1/8.
I just feel like -3 it works.
Okay, so
It's 5/8.
negative 1/8.
How did you put in the
I
calculator?
got 5/8.
How did you put in the calculator?
So you do Miss Casey.
Control, do negative. No.
Negative.
Control divide. There you go.
Oh.
1/8. Use the down arrow. Up. Yeah. And then use your over. And then you're going to do minus, and then you're going to do control divide again. And you're going to do 3/4.
Why minus? It's plus.
Or plus, I'm sorry. Thank you.
Miss Casey, I got 5/8.
I got 5/8. So it's G equals 5/8, 5/8.
5/8. Okay, so those are with adding and subtracting. Next, we want to look at what happens when you multiply and divide. So multiplication property of equality. If we take both sides of the equation and we divide by the same thing, they remain equals.
I'll do this one.
Wait.
Or sorry, I meant
I think
multiply.
you both go.
Sorry, I meant multiply. Sorry. This should be 8 times C.
You got that right.
Bingo. So A times C equals B times C.
And then the next one's
Shh, guys, I can't. Okay, so this is x divided by 3. Kobe. This is x divided by 3 equals 8. The only way I could cancel out is if I multiply both sides by 3. So the 3's will cancel, and I get 24.
Wait, can I do the next one?
Okay, well, hold on. Let me just explain the rule. So the next rule is going to be division property of equality. So now this one, if I divide both sides
2 divided
by the same thing, I keep the equation balanced, we call it. Okay, so Evan, now,
For A,
okay, well, let's do this little example here
it'd
first.
be it's
So,
divide by 2.
I have to divide both sides by 2,
And 7.
and the 2's will cancel,
X equals 7.
and it gets x equals 7.
Can I do A?
Let's do a couple together because there's some fractions involved then. All right, Evan, are we going to multiply or divide in A?
You do times 2.
Good, so I'm going to multiply 2.
It's a division. So you do times 2.
Yeah, so whenever there's a number in the denominator, I'm going to multiply.
So it's 36.
Good. 36, and the 2's here are going to cancel.
How do we get 36?
So 2 times 18 is 36. Okay, now.
Can I just do? Sorry. Can I just do? Can I just cross out the ones that I know it's gonna be crossed out instead of actually like doing it? Like. No, because
Instead of actually doing it, like which one?
because I know that we're gonna cross out W/2, so can I just cross it out?
I'll do the next one. Is D or 28?
Okay, hold on, we're not done with that
We'll
one.
do the next one.
I want to go through in order because this one has a
What
negative
is the
3
next
over 2. What would you do, Erin?
So you're gonna do -3. Okay, so you're gonna cancel that out.
How are we going to cancel it out?
Minus -3. I mean times -3 over 2, right?
No.
Well, if
And
I
then you
multiply by
and
3
then you
over
put
2.
6 over 1, and then you do
Divide.
-3 over 2, which would be 18 over 2. and
Negative
then
18.
it'd be 9.
Okay, there's something that we had learned, and they are reciprocals.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to multiply by
The answer 9.
negative 2 over 3. Why am I multiplying by negative 2 over 3? I want to cancel everything
Oh,
out.
there is okay.
Also,
Never mind.
a negative times negative makes it positive. So I don't want to end up with a negative K. I want to end up with a positive K. So the 2's are going to cancel on the left side,
And then the 3's are.
and then the 3's are going to cancel.
And then you do.
And then on the right side, okay, on your calculator.
Negative.
Right.
12
So
over 1.
I have to do 6 times negative 2/3. Make sure you're using the calculator. Okay? So that's going to be negative 4.
I forgot the reciprocal.
And then,
Negative.
oh, and then,
C is.
Okay, now, how do I, don't worry about the negative 2/5. Just look at the left side. This is
You multiply 3 on both sides.
multiply 3 on both sides.
negative 6 over 5.
All right, so the 3's will cancel.
Negative 6.
Negative 6 over 5. Again,
Can I do D?
we don't need to worry about changing this to a mixed number. We can leave it as an improper fraction.
Oh,
He's trying to crash his calculator.
I got negative 6 over 5.
I got
Oh.
2. I got 28.
Okay, for D,
28.
Can I go to the office?
Yeah, he looks really like.
quickly.
Can I do D?
Yeah, so we're going to do what?
You do divided by 3 because it's 3 times B, and then the answer is 20.
Good. Make sure you write
Can I
the
do E?
equals.
I'm doing B.
No,
You just did D.
So you 84 divided by 3 is 28.
So then you have to
I
get.
think I did this before. I think it's
I don't-
seventh grade.
You did.
Okay, Rachel, go ahead. What are we going to do for E?
Second.
42 divided by
1 divided.
Rachel.
3. My bad.
So you
Divide both sides by negative 3.
No,
Yes.
no. I
Yes.
just did. There's
No,
if it's
yes, no.
3B and then you just do
and
84
then
You're on the wrong
divided
one.
by.
Jonah,
by
what are you
3
saying?
and
we're
then
doing
28.
We're on E. We're on E.
Oh
Oh,
my god.
Okay, so what's 42 divided by
14.
3?
14.
Is it positive or negative?
Positive.
Good, positive.
I'm so smart.
Okay, F has another problem. We want to, again, look at just the side with the variables. So 4/5. How am I going to get rid of a 4/5?
You gotta cancel out the 5s.
you divide it.
Reciprocal.
I want to cancel.
I multiply.
Reciprocal.
Okay, what did Aaron just say? And
Reciprocal.
Evan, reciprocal. What's the reciprocal of 4 over 5?
Fancy words.
Come on. Yes, you do. We already
do
do
8, 9 times 5 over 4.
5 over
We're
4.
still on 5
40 over 36, and then you reduce that.
Okay, so I get
What?
K.
Oh my god, it's so easy. You can't have a small
It-
number on the numerator.
Okay,
yeah,
Evan, but
It's
like, I'm
40
not-
over 6,
Wait,
then you
Evan,
reduce
I
it.
am
Okay,
not
how do you
smart,
do it?
so it's not.
We're all
You
trying
just
to like
change- you do the
listen to what Miss
reciprocal,
Gates
so
is
you
saying.
change it.
If you wouldn't be
Oh,
plugging
that's
such
it?
random things into your
Does
calculator.
it not look cool though?
And you
Wait,
just
I
change
don't
it.
think that
You
was
literally just
that.
flip it.
If that problem you have 2 fractions, you just do the reciprocal with one that has the variable.
Okay,
It's like
who plugged this into the calculator?
Oh,
yet?
you just
right
do
now.
5
Okay.
36
Ten
over
over
4, which
Jordan.
reduces.
Go Jordan.
10 over 9?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
Sounds good to me.
Jordan. Thank you.
It's 10 over 9.
Oh my
In this case,
god.
it's a 10 over 9.
Jonah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh my god, I'm so smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so smart.